Hello everyone and welcome back to Shark Tank. On today's episode we have a very special organization looking to get funding to improve housing in Guatemala City. Guatemala City has a history of earthquakes due to its placement on both the Matoga Fault and the Chasoy-Poloshi Fault Complex. These faults are transform boundaries, creating mass amounts of seismic stress in the region. The organization Not Your Fault aims to protect the citizens of Guatemala City, especially the ones most susceptible, by implementing a better building system in the biggest slum of them all.
Hello Sharks, my name is Bruno.
And my name is Ethan.
Cool. We've come to you today seeking funds for our nonprofit organization, Not My Fault.
Now Sharks, let me ask you a question. Would you be scared if all of a sudden your house started violently shaking, almost to the point of collapse? Yes, of course you would be. But now imagine your well-built house was now a stack of unsecure cinder blocks. You'd feel like the first little piggy, and that's no good.
Well, that's the case in the slums of La Limonada, Guatemala City. This location is considered the largest and poorest slum in Central America. The houses in this area have walls made of cinder blocks and dirt floors. Our goal is to implement better building techniques to prevent the community residents from the dangers of earthquakes.
Guatemala City has a population of 995,393, and it is located only 25 kilometers south of the Motagua Fault. This fault is a transform boundary that runs right down the middle of all of Guatemala, putting all of these people at extreme risk. We want to limit the amount of destruction for this community as much as possible.
So what is a transform boundary? A transform boundary is when two tectonic plates slide past one another. This sliding motion can cause major earthquakes. The most famous example is the San Andreas Fault that can be found in California. The reason these faults can be so dangerous is because the plates can lock together. While they're locked together, tension begins to build until the plates can't resist and rip apart. The last place you want to be is a locked fault line.
So what is our product then? Well, let me introduce you to Fibercrete.
Fibercrete is our name for steel fiber reinforced concrete, also known as sfrc. The goal is to pour the fibercrete into the holes of the existing cinder blocks to create a sort of shear wall, as well as anchoring the home to the ground. A shear wall is a structural technique that can be used to resist wind forces and help prevent damages to the building.
How realistic is it to use this technique in this community?
Very realistic, Sharks. This material is cheaper than standard and normal reinforced concrete, which typically uses rebar for strength. It also involves far less labor due to pre-mixed material which can be easily poured without first installing rebar. Not only that, but Fibercrete also works perfectly with the cinder blocks, which are material used to build these homes, and act as a mold for the concrete. When we go to install Fibercrete, we can simply remove the sheet metal roof and pour it into the holes and anchors.
That's right.
How will Fibercrete improve the housing situation for earthquake damage?
The metal fibers mixed into the concrete make Fibercrete more resistant to fractures and cracking. These properties will allow the structure to withstand higher energy forces from earthquakes than normal concrete. Filling in the cinder block homes with Fibercrete will prevent the walls from swaying too much during an earthquake.
Is y'all's solution the best one currently on the market? I've seen a lot of other technologies, so why would this one be best?
For this location in Guatemala, it is best for us to use Fibercrete. There are other techniques utilized throughout the country, but none of them as cost effective as Fibercrete. Other alternatives are using a fuse that once it shakes too much during an earthquake, it cuts out power. But the people in this area don't have electricity to begin with, so something like that would be ineffective.
Another point is that this method allows us to just add on to the existing homes, just pour it right into the cinder blocks rather than have to tear down existing homes, construct new ones, or maybe just remove and replace foundations, which is a lot more complicated and a lot more expensive than what we are doing.
Will Not Your Fault get the funding they need to help these communities in Guatemala City? Find out after this break.
Are you tired of going on an afternoon walk and stepping in a puddle? Are you tired of this happening and ruining your day?
large puddles appear because of heavy rain and low permeability of the ground. These areas also are at risk for flash floods. Flash floods can be dangerous and result in many deaths and damage to property or many.
Man, this happens every time. I wish there was a way I could prevent this.
You can't really prevent the risk of flash floods, but you can be aware of danger. It's always smart to download a weather app to be warned of danger of flash flooding and also other natural disasters.
Huh. Maybe next time if I actually look at this, I won't step in a puddle like this.
Download a weather app and turn your notifications on to be aware of the dangers of flash floods and other natural disasters. You can be aware of heavy rain and avoid those pesky puddles too.
Welcome back to Shark Tank. So what will it be, sharks?
I'll invest in this product. I think this is an amazing idea with an amazing message behind it. This is a community that needs help, and you're willing to help them and find affordable and long-term solutions. It's a reasonable way to prevent damage from earthquakes in a community that can't afford high-tech solutions.
This area has faced this issue for a long time, so I'm glad that y'all are willing to take the first steps in the right direction. I can't wait to see how far this organization can go, and I know the people of Limonada will thank you for this act of selflessness. No one deserves to be like the first little piggy. With that being said, I choose to invest.
I don't know about y'all, but I've experienced an earthquake before, and they are no joke. The earth violently sliding against each other, creating huge movements and killing thousands in poor communities like this who don't have the resources to fight it. I see only good in what y'all are doing, and this shark's ready to bite, so I'm in.
No, absolutely not.
Reels
All of
is,
them on Reels 2 weeks after they come out.
no, Reels is better. The only issue with Reels is you just see people die, but other than that, it's fine.
What did he say?